ॐ वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तमाविद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Class number 71. Please repeat after me. वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुम्
वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुम्
मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते।
मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधो अभिधीयते।
पंचकोशाः के
पंचकोशाः के
अन्नमयः प्राणमयः
अन्नमयः प्राणमयः
मनोमयः विज्ञानमयः
मनोमयः विज्ञानमयः
आनन्दमयश्चेति
आनन्दमयश्चेति
अन्नमयः
अन्नमयः कः
अन्नरसेनैव भूत्वा
अन्नरसेनैव भूत्वा
अन्नरसेनैव वृद्धिं प्राप्य
अन्नरसेनैव वृद्धिं प्राप्यन्
अन्नरूपपृथिव्यां यत् विलीयते
अन्नरूप पृथिव्यां यत् विलीयते
तत् अन्नमयकोशः
तत् अन्नमयकोशः
स्थूलशरीरम्
स्थूलशरीरम्
प्राणमयः
प्राणमयः
नाद्याः पञ्चवायवः
प्राणाद्याः पञ्चवायवः
वागादीन्द्रियपञ्चकम्
वागादीन्द्रियपञ्चकम्
Pramanamaya-koshah.
प्राणमयकोशः
Manomayakah.
मनोमयकः
Manascha Jnanendriya-panchakam militva.
मनश्च ज्ञानेन्द्रियपञ्चकं मिलित्वा
Yo bhavati samanomayakoshaha.
यो भवति स मनोमयकोशः
Vijnanamayakaha.
विज्ञानमयकः
Buddhihi Jnanendriya-panchakam militva.
बुद्धिः ज्ञानेन्द्रियपञ्चकं मिलित्वा
Yo bhavati savijnanamayakoshaha.
यो भवति स विज्ञानमयकोशः
We are discussing the Vijnanamaya Kosha under the topic Panchakosha. The last class we stopped in between. The Vijnanamaya Kosha is the kosha which stands for the group of buddhi and this pancha jnanendriyani, five organs of sense perception, knowledge. This pancha jnanendriyani along with buddhi is put together is called Vijnanamaya Kosha. Pancha Jnanendriyani along with Mana is called Manomaya Kosha. Here it is Buddhi. Whether it is Manaha or Buddhi, both are Antakaranam. The same Antakaranam playing the role of Manas as well as Buddhi. When the Antakaranam is not decisive, when it thinks pros and cons, when it is wavering like the pendulum of a clock, then it is called Manas. When the Antakaranam behaves like that, it is called Manas. The same Antakaranam, when it decides, when it determines, when the knowledge of a thing takes place firmly, then the Antakaranam is called Buddhi. Now this Buddhi, that is this Antakaranam, when it is decisive, along with the Pancha Jnanendriyani is called Vijnanamaya Kosha. Looking upon the same Antakaranam, when it has firmly decided, determined, and when it enjoys, the Antakaranam really enjoys the status of being the knower, but it is attributed to Atma. Atma, that is I become the knower. I say I, the knower, I, the doer, the knowership, the doership. All these, the ships, the kartrutva, these are attributed to Atma because of the Antakaranam. The Antakaranam is playing the role of the Buddhi. The Buddhi means knowledge. Buddhi is the instrument. Buddhi also means knowledge. The knowledge takes place in the Buddhi. The knowledge that I am the doer, whether I am the doer and whether the knowledge takes place or knowledge do not take place. I am the knower, I am not the knower. I am the karta and I am not the karta also. I didn't do this. All these are knowledge only. All these are knowledge. So this knowledge, this is attributed to Atma. Atma can never be the knower. Atma can never be the karta. Atma cannot say, I did this. Atma cannot say, I didn't do this. Atma is Sakshi. Atma can say, I did this or I did that, because for doing, Atma must be put together. It must be a assemblage. Body does, body moves, body can do action because body is put together. Body has got anga, angani, legs, hands, other angas, the parts are there. Therefore, it can move and therefore it can accomplish a task by doing. But Atma, how can it do? Atma is Sarva Vyapi. Everything is Atma. Atma is Sakshi, we say. Avastatraya Sakshi. It is a witness. How can the witness do? It is a witness of something which does, or something which knows. Antakaranam knows. Antakaranam knows, Antakaranam functions, body functions. For all this, Atma is the witness. Therefore, taking the Atma to be the knower, taking the Atma to be the Karta, that mistake happens because of this kosha, and the kosha is the combination of buddhi and the Jnanendriya Panchakam. Therefore, that is called Vijnanamaya Kosha. Why it's called Vijnanamaya? Because knowledge takes place in the buddhi. Knowledge means not that new knowledge only. Knowledge of that I am the doer. I did this, I didn't do that. That is also the knowledge. So, therefore, regarding Atma, this mistake is done. I know, I don't know. Atma cannot say I know, I don't know. Atma can never be the knower. Atma only illumines the Antakaranam. In the Antakaranam, the knowledge of a thing takes place. Therefore, Antakaranam, in the presence of Sakshi, gains the knowledge. Antakaranam is Jadam, it cannot gain knowledge. But Antakaranam, as though it is a conscious thing, because of Atma, the knowledge is the knowledge of a thing. Knowledge takes place in the buddhi in the presence of this Sakshi Chaitanyam. The knowledge happens. The knowledge happens. Antakaranam is Jadam. In the Jadam, nothing happens. Like the water being water. The sun reflected. Because the sun reflected in the water now becomes a source of light. The mirror is Jadam. The mirror cannot reflect light. But when sun is reflected in the mirror becomes a source of light. Similarly, Antakaranam also. In the presence of this Sakshi Chaitanyam, the knowledge takes place in the Antakaranam. And therefore, that knowledge or that the doership, the knowership, doership, all these are attributed to the Sakshi Chaitanyam, Atma. This is a mistake. Therefore, the mistake committed with regard to this knowership and doership is called Vijnanamaya Koshaha. So, therefore, Buddhihi Jnanendriya Panchakam. Buddhihi is Nischayatmika Antakarana Vrittihi. We saw there is a complete decision or resolution of a thing, the knowledge of a thing, then it is called Buddhi. Whether a flower is a real flower or plastic flower, the Buddhi confirms that. The Buddhi, they confirms. And therefore, that the Pramana Palam happens in the Buddhi. Buddhi confirms that very firmly, for sure. Therefore, Nischayatmika, Buddhi. So, Pramana Pala means the result of the means of knowledge. The result of means of knowledge is gained by the vritti. The vritti means the thoughts. That is called buddhi. So So therefore, the vritti jnanam takes place in the buddhi. The knowledge of a thing takes place in the buddhi, and that is that that is reflected in the presence of Sakshi Chaitanyam. Therefore, buddhi is a knower, but that knower, buddhi also really independently cannot be the knower because buddhi is jadam. Therefore, the buddhi, the only the knowledge takes place, but that knowership is attributed to this witness, Sakshi Chaitanya. Because of that only, the Sakshi Chaitanyam, as though it becomes the knower. So, the knowledge is really is a mysterious thing. Because buddhi being jadam, then for whom the knowledge is, Atma cannot know. Buddhi itself cannot know independently. Atma cannot do. Then this manas along with the shariram cannot function because both are jadam. That is why it is mithya. That is why it is mithya. How can jadavastu think? How can jadavastu act? This acting, that is the doership, and knowing the knowership cannot be for the jadam. You don't see a rock doing thing, rock doing action. You don't see a rock thinking also. A stone doesn't think. A wall doesn't think. It is jadam. But similarly, the body, mind also jadam only. In this jada shariram, jada manas, jada indriyana also jadam only. But they gain the consciousness. They become conscious as though they become conscious thing because of this Sakshi Chaitanya. So, because of this Atma, there is a as though a mix-up. Really mix-up cannot take place. The mix-up of Atma and Anatma cannot take place. Atma and Anatma cannot mix, but as though a mix-up takes place. Therefore the jivatvam. Therefore the consciousness to the body, to the mind, to the senses are available, and therefore that is attributed to this Sakshi Chaitanya. Similarly, the Sakshi Chaitanya, which is consciousness, that consciousness is superimposed or attributed to this Jadavastu. That is a mutual transfer of attributes. Atma attributes on Anatma, and Anatma attributes on Atma. Therefore, Atma is as though reduced to the Anatma, and Anatma as though is lifted to the level of Atma. That is why the Shariram is taken to be the Atma. That Atma means I. When we say I, what do we refer to? Do we refer to Chaitanyam all the time? That you can say only when you are Vedanta student. Otherwise, I when you say that is refers to this body, this mind, the senses. When it comes to knowledge, when it comes to your knowledge, you say, I know it. You praise, you attribute everything to your Antakarnam, forgetting that Antakarnam is an instrument, merely an instrument. It is a jadam. Therefore, only you say Agam Buddhiman. Who is Buddhiman? The one who uses the Buddhi properly is called Buddhiman. Buddhi is jadam. Buddhi is jadam only. And you say Buddhiman. Anyway, Buddhi being an instrument, Bhagavan has given the Buddhi to use it. So if you can use the Buddhi as an instrument, then you can be called a Buddhiman. That is fine. But Agam Buddhiman, you are saying Atma is Buddhiman. Atma is neither Buddhiman, Atma is neither Abuddhiman. Atma being what it is. All these are attributed to the Sakshi Chaitanya. Therefore, looking upon this Buddhi along with this Jnanendriya, Pancha Jnanendriya, that is called Vijnanamaya Kosha, because it is a locus for committing the mistake of knowing knowership and doing doership. The doership, knowership. So therefore, this koshavat achadakatva, as though like a kosha, this covers as though the atma. Therefore, it is called Vijnanamaya kosha and maya, because here in the buddhi, the knowledge takes place and it changes all the time. And not the same knowledge is there. The knowledge keeps changing. When you see a tree knowledge, when you see a stone knowledge, when you see the water knowledge. So the knowledge every time happening, the antakranam and the buddhi, it changes. Knowledge in the knowledge changes means the vritti in the vritti of the buddhi changes. Therefore, you become the knower of tree. You means the atma, because you attribute that to atma. Therefore, atma knows the tree, atma knows the stone, atma knows the river, atma knows the mountain, atma knows the language, atma knows Sanskritam. Atma doesn't know anything. It need not know. It is Shuddha Chaitanya. It is Chaitanya. But to this Atma, all this ear, the seer, the knower is attributed. That kartrutvam. In Sanskritam we say trich, the null pratyaya. These are attributed to Atma. When you see, who sees the Indriyani, the Chakshur Indriyani is opened and the mind flows, you gain the knowledge, buddhi confirms the knowledge. Therefore, you see, who sees the Indriyani in the presence of Antakaranam gains the object of knowledge by the functioning of the eyes. Therefore, the seeing happens. But you become the seer. You means the Atma becomes the seer. Atma doesn't see. What can see? When it is all pervading, what it can see. So to see, Atma must be also be an object. Only an object can see another object. Atma cannot be the seer. So, but what do we say? I see. So Atma become the seer. Atma become the hearer. Atma become the thinker. As though become the thinker, doesn't become. What sees, what hears, what thinks is this antakaranam in the presence of this Chaitanyam. Not antakaranam alone, because antakaranam is jada. So, therefore, the seership, the seer, the hearer, the knower, all the time it changes. Because the antakaranam, the function, because of the functioning of the antakaranam, a change happens. Because the object undergoes change, therefore buddhi also undergoes change. Therefore, there is a continuous change. That is why mayat pratyaya. Mayat visa vikararte mayat. Vikararte mayat pratyaya. Therefore, it is called vijnana. Jnana means this knowledge happening in the buddhi. It changes. Therefore, when you operate the eyes, you become the seer. When you operate the ears, you become the hearer. All these are knowledge. Seeing, you gain knowledge. Hearing, you gain knowledge. By touching, you get knowledge. You become the toucher, operating all the pancha jnanendriya. So, therefore, the function being seeing, see becomes seer. Hear becomes hearer. Touch becomes toucher. Based on the function, the kartrutvam is attributed to the Sakshi Chaitanyam. Because of this error, because of the error committed at this level of Vijnanam, Jnanam doesn't mean Atma Jnanam here. Here Jnanam means the knowledge of the objects and things of the world. Therefore, error committed at this level is called, with reference to the Jnanam, the knowledge, because of Buddhi, and because of the Buddhi's identification, abhimana with the Atma, or the mutual superimposition of the Atma, Anatma, the attributes, this becomes as though a kosha, and it is Vijnanamaya kosha. It's called Vijnanamaya kosha. Therefore, because of this, because of the transfer, the mutual transfer of attributes of Atma and Anatma Buddhi, along with this Jnanendriya Panchakam, Vijnanamaya kosha as though becomes a conscious thing, because of which you become the doer. That is a mistake. You, the Atma, you miss Atma. Atma becomes a doer. Atma becomes a knower. Atma is not the doer. Atma cannot be a karta. Therefore, the mistake is committed, taking Atma to be the karta. Therefore, koshaha. Kosha, like a kosha, like a cover. What is the cover? Ajnanam is a cover. The Vijnanamaya is a cover. Cover is as though a cover, covering the Atma. Covering means Ajnana. Ajnana rupena koshavat achadayati. Therefore, Vijnanamaya koshaha. So, therefore, Atma is taken to be the karta. Karta is Atma, but Atma is not the karta. That equation always you need to remember. Karta is Atma, but Atma is not the karta. Shrota is Atma, but Atma is not the Shrota. Drashta is Atma, but Atma is not the Drashta. The seer is Atma, but Atma is not the seer. Hearer is Atma, but Atma is not the hearer. Because the same Atma, the Atma being the same, what happens? Because of this Vesha, the Vesha means the Vesha, the character, the role. Because of the role playing, like the actor playing the role of a beggar, he begs. The beggar is actor, but actor is not the beggar. The actor plays different roles, not only the role of the beggar. Sometimes he plays the role of the rich man also. Doesn't mean that the actor has really become rich. In the drama, he plays the role of the rich man, rich person. In the drama, he plays the role of the beggar. So the beggar B is actor A, but actor A is not the beggar. Similarly, Karta is Atma, Bhokta is Atma, Jnata is Atma, but Atma is not any of them. That we must understand. But taking that Atma to be the Karta, that is the error. Therefore, the error which happening at the level of knowledge is called Vijnanamaya Koshaha iti. We have discussed this for a long time. I think it must be clear now. So this Vijnanamaya represents Jnana Shakti. Because the Jnanam, the knowledge, takes place at the level of knowledge, the mistake happens because of this Abhimana. Therefore, Koshavat is called Vijnanamaya Kosha. Like Manomaya represents the Icha Shakti, Pranamaya represents Kriya Shakti. Similarly, Vijnanamaya represents this Jnana Shakti. Therefore, these three Shaktis, the three Shaktis in the form of this three Kosha, they constitute the Sukshma Shariram. They constitute Sukshma Shariram. Sukshma Shariram, we know, it has got Saptadasha Kalabhihi, Pancha Jnanendriyani, Pancha Karmendriyani, Pancha Pranadayaha, then Manascha Ekam, Buddhischa Eka. So, Pranamaya Kosha, the Prana we have seen, Karmendriya with Prana, Pranamaya Kosha. Then Jnanendriya with Manas, Manomaya Kosha. Now, Jnanendriya with Buddhi, it is Vijnanamaya Kosha. Therefore, these three Kosha represents the three Shaktis. They constitute Sukshma Shariram. Sukshma Shariram looked upon as three Kosha. So therefore, this three Shakti. And we have seen that Icha Shakti means the desire. The power of desiring, it is presided by the Jnana Shakti. So, Jnana Shakti, Jnanam must precede Icha. Without Jnanam, how can you desire for a thing? Without knowledge of a thing, how can you entertain a desire? The desire of an object must be preceded by the knowledge of the object. Without knowing, you cannot desire for a thing. So, the knowledge precedes. Therefore, Vijnanamaya Kosha first. Jnana Shakti first. Then only the Icha Shakti. Manomaya Kosha. Mind can desire. Then the Pranamaya. With the Prana, the energy stands for the functioning ability. Therefore, Kriya Shakti. So, at the level of this Jnanamaya, Vijnanamaya itself, one can, if you are an intelligent person, you can analyze your Icha, your desire, and at the level of Vijnanamaya itself, you can decide whether to pursue or drop it. Therefore, that is a function of the Buddhi. So, you decide to go ahead with the desire or nip the desire in the bud itself. So, all this takes place at the level of Buddhi. Once you decide to accomplish, then you work for it. Therefore, Kriya Shakti. So, all the three Shaktis representing the three koshas. So, they work in different combinations. They form the Sukshma Shariram. Then comes the next kosha, which is Anandamaya Koshaha. We will read that. Anandamaya Kaha.
Anandamaya Kaha.
Evam Eva.
Evam Eva.
Karana Sharira Bhutha.
Karana Sharira Bhuta.
Avidyastha Malina Sattvam.
Avidyasta
Malina
Malina
Sattvam.
Sattvam.
Priyadi Vritti Sagitam Sat.
Priya Diviritti Sakitam Sat.
Anandamaya Koshaha.
Anandamaya Koshaha.
What is Anandamaya Kosha? That is being talked about here. This simple translation. Malina Sattvam. We'll discuss what it is. Malina Sattvam means Malina is impure. Malina Sattvam, the impure Sattva condition. Avidyastha. Avidyastha is that which is Avidyayam. Avidyastha, which is obtained in the Avidya. The Malina Sattva, the impure Sattva, which is obtained in the Avidya, which is same as the Karana Sharira, causal body, Karana Sharira Bhuta, and which is endowed with the Priyadi Vritti Sagitam, the three dispositions of happiness, beginning with Priya. This is called Anandamaya Koshaha. This is the literal translation. But what do we understand? Nothing. Now we will see in detail. What is this Anandamaya Koshaha? Anandamaya Koshaha is one layer. Is of the 5 layers, one of the layer which stands for the happiness, of the person, happiness of the personality of the person, the layer of personality of the person consisting of the experience of happiness. Happiness also have got different degrees. That's why Priyadi Sagitam. We will see what it is. So the personality consisting, the layer of the personality layer, which consists of this experience of happiness, is called Anandamaya. The word Anandamaya itself shows Ananda is happiness. So the experience of happiness, which constitutes the kosha, Anandamaya kosha, that is going to be analyzed. It can be analyzed. How? With reference to the happiness which a person gains during Jagrat Avastha as well as in Sushupti Avastha. The happiness is experienced by the person in the Jagrat Avastha. In the Jagrat Avastha, there is interaction between the Indriya Vishaya and Indriyas. Therefore, that's a transaction. Transaction between the sense organs and the object of sense organs. When the fusion of sense object with the sense organs takes place, there is happiness. That is, when the desire is fulfilled, when the desired objects are gained, there is happiness. That is in the Jagrata Avastha. Similarly, in Sushupti Avastha also, deep sleep state, there is happiness. Therefore, only in the deep sleep, after you get up from the deep sleep, you say, I slept happily. Therefore, there is the experience of happiness. Now, that experience of happiness gained in the Jagrata Avastha and in the Sushupti Avastha, that is attributed to the Atma, and at that level, so therefore Atma is considered, Atma is said to be the enjoyer of the happiness. I'm happy. That happiness is attributed to that layer of happiness. The happiness, that's also a mistake. Atma cannot be happy, cannot be sad. Atmana Swarupam is Ananda. That is different. But this Ananda, it is just a reflection. It's just a reflection of the Atma, this Ananda, what we obtain in the waking state or in the sleep state. They are dependent Ananda. The waking state, it is dependent Ananda. Ananda depends on when the Indriya interacts with the Indriya, desired Indriya Vishaya. Then only happiness is. Otherwise, there is no happiness. Happiness without any condition happens only in the sleep, deep sleep. In the deep sleep state, what happens? Two things happen. One is, you don't know anything. You say, Maya Sukhena Nidra Anubhuyate. I slept happily. Aham kimapi na janami. I don't know anything. Two things. The deep sleep state. So I don't know anything. That is number one. And I slept very happily. Number two. So slept happily stands for happiness. I don't know anything stands for you don't know anything. Not that you have knowledge and you have happiness. No, that is complete ignorance. Therefore, you don't know anything. I don't know anything, you say in the sleep. If you know, then it is not sleep. Therefore, there is complete ignorance, experience of ignorance, and there is happiness in the deep sleep state. Whereas in the Jagrata Avastha, there is experience of happiness and you are not ignorant. With reference to the Vyavahara, you are not ignorant. So, therefore, the various experiences which is the Jagrata Avastha, the various experiences because of the interaction, it gives you the happiness. The happiness is experienced. So therefore, Priya and the happiness also of different types. Priyadi Sagita. Now let us understand this avidya, the word is used, avidyasta. In the deep sleep state, I said two things we know, not in the deep sleep state, after we wake up. One is agam kimapi na janami. Second one, maya sukhena nidra anubhuyat. One type of experience is ignorance, complete ignorance of everything, including yourself. You don't know, you don't have the knowledge of yourself in sleep. Therefore, you say, Aham kimapi na janami. If knowledge of you is there, then it is not complete ignorance. Even it is complete ignorance, including yourself. The sleeper doesn't know. That doesn't know he is happily sleeping also. That you know only when you wake up. You recollect. You recollect your happy sleep only when you wake up. Therefore, there is ignorance. Ignorance includes Atma Ajnanam also, self-ignorance also. That is number one experience. Number two is Sukhena Nidram Anubhuyate. Agam Sukhena Nidram Anubhavami, you say. I slept happily when, that is later. So, therefore, because there is the Karana Shariram. This Karana Shariram, you have to remember the definition of Karana Shariram. What is Karana Shariram? Karana Shariram is Avidya Rupam, iti we have seen before. So, because in the deep sleep state there is Avidya, complete Avidya, and Karana Shariram we have seen. Karana Shariram has got another name, Avidya. Avidya means ignorance, and Karana Shariram is also called Avidya. Why? Because there is complete ignorance, total ignorance. What happens in this Sushupti Avastha, deep sleep state? The mind resolves into dormant state. And therefore, the sleeper doesn't have knowledge about anything. The knowledge of anything, except the knowledge of ignorance. That he recounts when he wakes up. That is why after he gets up, he says, I don't know anything. Do you know anything in sleep? If you know anything in sleep, then it is not sleep. It must be Swapna Avastha. Swapna Avastha only, the dream sleeps, in the dream state only, you have the experience of the Swapna Prapancha, and that you can recollect after you wake up. But in the deep sleep, nothing, no experience, no any particular experience. There is only the experience of ignorance. That is why you say, I don't know anything. So, therefore, the sleeper, it doesn't have any knowledge. It doesn't have any knowledge about anything. Where? In sleep. Excepting what? Excepting the knowledge of ignorance, avidya. Therefore, only when he gets up, he says, Agam kimapi na janami. So, Agam kimapi na janami is ajnanam. That jnanam, that is only jnanam is there, and that he recounts after he gets up. Therefore, ajnanam is there in sleep. Therefore, Karana Shariram is called avidya. Avidya means ajnanam, ignorance. And in the deep sleep state, since the mind resolves into the Karana Shariram, therefore Karana Shariram is called avidya. It is a name given with reference to the absence of knowledge. So therefore you have to see, the name is given with reference to the absence of knowledge, any knowledge. Therefore, Karana Shariram is given the name avidya. This is technically given. Karana Shariram is given the name avidya. Therefore, avidyastaha. Avidyastaha. Evameva Karana Sharira Bhuta avidyastha malina sattvam. Okay. So, Karana Shariram is given the name avidya. Avidya is not avidya. The word avidya also have to be used very carefully. So, whenever we use the word avidya, it doesn't mean it is Karana Shariram. We cannot replace it with Karana Shariram. Here, contextually, Karana Shariram is avidya. Karana Shariram is avidya. That it is contextual. Because there is complete ignorance in Sushupti, and the person who is sleeping, that is a sleeper, is identified with Karana Shariram, like the person identified with the Stula Shariram in the Jagrata Avastha is called the waker. The person identified with the Sukshma Sharira in the dream state is called the dreamer. Similarly, the person, the sleeper, who is identified with this Karana Shariram, and there is complete ignorance in Sushupti. Therefore, since Karana Shariram, since he doesn't know anything, therefore Karana Shariram is given the name Avidya here. Is Avidya. Another name also is given for ignorance. What is that? Malina Sattvam. Malina Sattvam means Sattva Malina. Malina is impure. Sattva is a technical word. We will see what it is. So Malina Sattvam means Ajnanam. Malina Sattvam is Ajnanam. Shuddha Sattva means Jnanam. Malina is, which is impure. Impure Sattva, that is Ajnanam. Sattva is a technical word. The three, that every individual consists of the three, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. These are the guna, Sattva guna, Rajo guna, Tamo guna. These are the three, the guna. So these are the three guna. Every human mind is subject to these three types of gunas, three gunas. Sattva guna stands for the calmness, the tranquility, the composedness, the purity, all these the positive or desired attributes. They stand for Sattva guna. So when you see a person who is calm, it is pure, and who thinks very clearly, doesn't get disturbed, then we say Sattva guna Purushaha. So Sattva. So with reference to such experiences, what experiences? The person enjoys clarity, the person enjoys tranquility. It is called Sattvam or Sattva guna. When Sattvam is predominant, then you become happy, you become the happiest person. Or whenever you become happy, we can say that is, Sattvam is predominant in both ways. When Sattvam is predominant, the three types of gunas happen in the person in a day at different times. When you go to sleep, there is complete Tamo guna. Tamo guna stands for this sleepiness, the lethargy, Tamo guna. All these three gunas are there in different combinations in a person. Depending on what dominates in the person becomes a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and Bhagavan Krishna beautifully says in the Gita, Chaturvarnya Maya Srishtam, Guna Karma Vivakashaha iti. So the combination of three gunas. In the waking state, whichever guna dominates in the person, based on that only these names are given. When you say Brahmana, means not only by Jati Brahmana or by Karma, Sattva guna is dominant in the person. That is why it's called Brahmana. Even though he is not born in a particular Jati, doesn't do a particular Karma also, but he is called a Brahmana because by guna he is a Brahmana. Sattva guna is dominant in that person. Therefore, he is called Sattva guna. He doesn't get disturbed. He is calm, he is quiet, and there is complete tranquility. He has got knowledge. Therefore, Sattva guna Pradhana Purushaha we say. So, when Sattva guna is dominant, naturally you become the happy person. You're happy. Your happiness is as though it is relatively complete. So when Sattva guna is dominant. Similarly, when you become happy also, when you become happy, we can assume that Sattva is dominant. It's not that always is not like that. But whenever you are happy, that happiness also not at the cost of others. Sometimes people are sadists, they derive happiness by torturing others, not that sort of happiness. When you are happy or whenever you become happy, that happiness also dharmically, that happiness gained by properly, then we can say that Sattvam is dominant. So, in the 14th chapter of the Gita, the whole chapter is dedicated to the discussion of these three gunas. These three gunas are present in everything and everybody. These three gunas are present. The food what we eat, that decides the character, that decides the quality of the person. That is why the food is also classified as Satvika Annam, Rajasika Annam, Tamasika Annam. Because based on what you eat, the character, the attitude is generated in the person. If you are a person doing help to others, helping others, a charitable person, dhanam, if you do some good action, then we say that Satvika is a Satvika Purusha. In the action of giving dhanam, the Satvika, the Sattvic nature of the person is exhibited. Even in Dhanam, Bhagavan Krishna says there are 3 types of Dhanam in the 14th chapter. Sattvika Dhanam, Rajasika Dhanam, Tamasika Dhanam. In Sattvika Dhanam, you do charity because your intention is only to help the other person, not to gain name or fame because of Dhanam. No, you don't want to propagate yourself. You do what your right hand does your left hand doesn't know. You do silently. Because you are Sattvika. The Dhanam, you are Sattvika person, therefore Dhanam is also Sattvika Dhanam. This, therefore, in every activity based on these 3 gunas, they can be called Sattvika, Rajasika, Tamasika. The activity reveals the character, the attitude of the person. In puja also there are 3 types. Sattvika puja, Rajasika puja, Tamasika puja. The puja is, what is a puja? Puja is the action by which a devotee communicates with his Ishtadevata, Bhagavan. There is a one-to-one interaction. Nobody else is there in that interaction. Only one-to-one. It is a private thing between the Bhakta and the Bhagavan. And the same puja also can be a Sattvika puja. The same puja can be Rajasika puja. You can do in a very grand way and publicize Rajasika puja. And Tamasika puja, you can do the puja to gain some petty things, asking for petty things from the Lord. And the Sattvika puja, you will ask for knowledge, you will ask for freedom. So, therefore, puja also there are varieties. And therefore, the action may be the same for a Sattvika, Rajasika, Tamasika. Action may be the same, but attitude is different. Therefore, the result also vary. The action, the dhanam, a Sattvika person also gives dhanam. A Rajasika person also gives dhanam. Tamasika also gives dhanam. But the attitude behind the action of giving, behind the action of doing puja, the prayer, that is different. Therefore, the results also will vary. So, therefore, the results vary because of the attitude. So, therefore, in every for every action there is result, and the result there is the determining factors. This attitude, this sattva, rajas, tamas, the sattva, tamas, rajas, sattva, tamas, and rajas, depending on attitude, the results gives results. Therefore, these gunas, this disposition of mind is responsible for any type of experience. In the Jagrata Avastha, it is very clear. The experience depends on this guna, your disposition of the mind. So what your guna, what your disposition of mind, what your attitude, depending on that you gain experience. As I said, the Sattvika person is calm, he enjoys tranquility, doesn't get disturbed. So your mind is calm. Your mind, you know, the mind is a tool, mind is an instrument, and you operate it accordingly, and therefore you enjoy. In spite of Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, Labha, Alabha, you are not disturbed. Therefore, the experience, the type of experience depends on the disposition of the mind. Whereas the other person, he gets disturbed by the Shita or Ushna, Labha, Alabha, the same, the pairs of opposites. For other person, it gives, if it is Ushna, it gives Dukkha experience. If it is Shita, it gives Sukha experience. If it is Labha, it gives Sukha experience. If it is Alabha, Dukkha experience. The experience, the Dvandva, the pairs of opposites being the same, the experience of one person is different from the other person because of the difference in this guna, because of this disposition of mind. Therefore, with these three technical words, sattva, rajas, and tamas, we can easily explain, interpret the differences in the experiences of people. Therefore, the three gunas, therefore only three gunas. So among the three gunas, sattva is dominant. Sattva is relatively pure. Rajas stands for action. Action also is, rajas also is required. Otherwise, you will not do action. Whenever a person is doing action, intense action, you can say that sattvika, that rajasika guna is dominant. When the person is tired or sleepy, then we can say tamasika guna is dominant in the person. Therefore, in a day, all the three gunas, they operate in a person. When you, the morning you get up after the nice deep sleep, the mind is fresh, sattva is dominant. That is why it is always good to read or do puja or meditation in the morning. We don't do meditation after eating. We don't do meditation in the afternoon. Or we do this meditation, the sandhya, in the twilight time, morning sandhya, if that is, because that is a time the mind is also relatively calm, sattva. So therefore, this is a degree, the degree of differences in the mind, which happens at the same, in the same person, the same day, the three gunas. Therefore, the combination of three gunas are indispensably present, has to be present in a person, and it is. When sattva is dominant, you experience happiness. When sattva is inhibited by various degrees of rajas and tamas, your experience of happiness also will be inhibited. So sattva stands for happiness. So that is what here in this malina sattva. Sattva stands for happiness. Malina sattva means the happiness is not pure happiness, because there is no pure sattvam in the creation. Pure sattva is not there. Always only malina sattva. Therefore, only no happiness is really complete or pure happiness. Every happiness is a tainted happiness. Every happiness is limited happiness. There is no Purna Ananda. No Vishayananda is Purna Ananda. Vishayananda being Vishaya, gainable through Vishaya, the objects, they are limited only. Therefore, only there is no Purna Trupti, Purna Ananda because of Vishaya. Therefore, there is no Sattvam. No Sattvam in the creation, because everything is mixed of, everything is a mix-up of these three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. Therefore, the author here says there are different degrees of happiness experienced due to this malina sattvam. The malina sattvam, and that is what is obtained in the Anandamaya Koshaha. Karana Sharira Bhuta Avidyasta malina sattvam. Bhuta means of the nature of. Karana Shariram Avidya. Already we discussed Karana Shariram, otherwise called Avidya. Bhuta of the nature of. Avidyasta. Avidyasta means Avidyayam Tishtati. Iti Avidyastam. That is Malina Sattvam in Avidya. This Malina Sattva in Avidya, that is Karana Shariram. Malina referring to the impurity. Impurity means tamas. So the combination of tamas and sattvam, malina sattvam, the sattvam which is marina, which is impure because of tamas and rajas and in the avidya, in the karana shariram. Now, this avidyasta malina sattvam we have to analyze. When a person is sleeping, as I told, there are two things. One is sukham, other one is ajnanam. Two things are recollected by the person after he wakes up. The person wakes up from the deep sleep state. Sukham, you say, sukham, I say, why? Because you say after you get up, I slept happily. Therefore, happiness is there. Therefore, we have to accept sattva guna was or is present in some measure in sushupti avastha, because happiness is there. Sattva guna stands for happiness, and there is experience of happiness in the sleep. Therefore, sattva guna is present. If sattva is there, when we say sattva, then jnana must also be there. But what happens? There jnanam is not there. There is no jnanam. Because sattva, the happiness, because of this jnanam only. In the waking state, the person is composed, calm, quiet. A knowledgeable person is called sattva guna pradhana purushaha. Because he has knowledge, therefore he is calm, he is composed, he has got clarity. In the sleep, we say sattvam is there. Why sattvam is there? There because happiness is there, therefore sattvam is there. But if sattvam is there, jnanam also must be present. But in the sleep, jnanam is not there. Therefore, because the knowledge is not there, but knowledge also we cannot say complete knowledge is not there. We cannot say, because there is knowledge of that I don't know anything is there. That knowledge is there. Therefore, no particular knowledge is there for this experience of happiness in sleep. Therefore, what happens? Therefore, sattvam is overpowered by the other gunas, tamoguna and tamoguna. In the sleep, it is tamoguna. There is no rajoguna, because there is no action in sleep. Therefore, the sattvam, which stands for happiness, that happiness is possible only by jnanam, but jnanam is not possible in sleep. Therefore, we say the sattva is overpowered by tamoguna. Therefore, sattva overpowered by tamoguna. Therefore, knowledge is not completely there in sushupti avastha. In sushupti avastha, there is no knowledge except the knowledge that you recollect. I don't know anything. That avidya, that ajnanam only is there. That is also a knowledge. Therefore, only it is avidyasta. Therefore, only it is malina sattvam. So, therefore, the sushupti avastha it's a mixture of sattvam. Sattvam is there because you say, I slept happily. You say, I slept happily, and also you say, I don't know anything. That knowledge also is there. That's sattvam. And the knowledge also, I don't know anything. Therefore, tamas. Both are there. Therefore, mixture of sattvam and tamas. So, sattvam represents the sukha anubhava, and tamas represents the ajnana anubhava. Both. Sattvam represents the sukha anubhava. I slept happily. And tamas represents the ajnana anubhava, that I don't know anything. So these are the two experiences of sushupti avastha. Therefore, sattva and tamas. Because tamas is present, therefore sattva becomes malina sattva. That is why malina sattva. If sattva is not there, sorry, if tamas is not there, then what happens? Then the person must be doing meditation in sleep. He must be a jnani. If tamas is not there, then it is not sleep. But the person sleeps. The person doesn't have any knowledge, but and also he doesn't say that he doesn't know anything. He is completely awake to himself. He is completely awake to himself. He is a jnani. He is doing meditation. There is no really sleep for him. He is doing meditation. If tamas is not there, but that is not the case in sleep. Sattvam also is there. Tamas is not. Tamas is also is there. But sattvam is not completely present. If it is completely present, then the person must be awake to himself. He must be doing meditation. because sattvam is overpowered by tamas. Therefore, only sleep. So, therefore, the jnanam is not there. Atma jnanam is not there. Therefore, he is not doing meditation. He is sleeping because the sattva is tainted by or overpowered by this tamas. Therefore, the sattva over by tamoguna is called malina sattvam. It's called impure sattvam. Sattva is there, but it is malina. In where, which state? In karana shariram, and that is indicated by the word karana sharira avidyastha. Avidya in karana shariram, where there is avidya, where there is ajnanam, in there is experience of malina sattvam. There is the experience of malina sattvam. And priyadi vritti sagitam, another important word, the experience of happiness. The experience of happiness is experienced, it is mentioned by the word priyadi sagitam. Priyadi sagitam. That is malina sattva, which stands for ajnanam, the absence of knowledge. Absence of knowledge. Knowledge also is ananda. Ajnanam, complete ajnanam is also ananda. Ignorance also bliss. When you know that you are Atma, then Atma Jnanam is there, that is bliss, Ananda. We say Ananda. When you don't know, when there is complete Ajnanam also, it is Ananda only. Complete Ajnanam also Ananda, complete Jnanam also Ananda. In between, it's only the problem, samsara. Therefore, in the sleep, there is Ananda is there, and Ananda has to be discussed. What are the types of Ananda? That Priyadi Vritti Sagitam Malina Sattvam. That Priyadi, Priya, Moda, Pramoda, the different types of ananda, the degrees of ananda, that is happiness are there, which is what is indicated by the priyadi vritti sagitam, that we will discuss. We will discuss that in the next class. So we stop here. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanta Shanta Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद
धन्यवाद
धन्यवाद जी.